Manser, you claim you spent 5 years in prison for failing to pay child support for the defendant, Ms. Sears' son, Dylan.
That's right.
Mr. Manser, you are not
Oh, God.
his father.
Oh, man. 5 years in prison.
Do you know?
Yes, ma'am.
You know who his father is?
Yes, I talk to him still.
Shit.
Disclaimer.
Gentlemen, welcome to the round table. There is no table, but imagine there's a round table there, okay? We joined by some familiar faces, new ones too. This is going to be like a quick Q&A type thing, react to a situation, and I just want you guys to give your honest opinion, be cool, be chilled, kind of like how Excel is, you know, laid back, chilled. And yeah, let's do our thing. So there was a video, there was a guy, he went to prison for 5 years, like he did time because he didn't pay child support. Turns out the kid wasn't really his. Kid wasn't his, period. Tragic. He got out, he went to paternity courts, DNA tests were done. He found out that he wasn't the father. But the woman had been in touch with the child's father for like basically the whole time. So she knew. He didn't, and he still did time. So, gents, I'm just going to start off with the basic questions. It's a short question, answer it as ever you see fit. In your own words, what would you say a father is? If you had to give it like 2 sentences, what is a father?
Foundation of the family.
Foundation of the family, I like that. Donnie?
The head of the family.
The father is the head of the family. Ricky, what do you say?
A father is like basically, how can I say, a person who builds the family. That's what I'm gonna say. So
Okay. What do you say, Henry?
Well, quite a difficult question to answer because, you know, growing up, you know, not having your real father around, so you wouldn't really give the perfect answer. But if you've had enough lessons from life with the father that you had who was present for you, so you say that a father is the image of a house.
Great, I like that. The image of a
figure
house. The figure.
Of a house.
Excel?
Yeah, well, a father is a trendsetter.
Father's a trendsetter.
Someone that you look up to.
Great.
You get
Great. We're gonna write off Excel's word, right? The father is a trendsetter. He sets the trend. He sets the tone. There's all these images of strength and everything. You know, I'm one to believe that one of the connotations of a father is providing, right? Well, that's what I believe, at least. Let us say you are in this man's shoes, right? What if you knew from the onset that this wasn't your kid, but you had some sort of connection with the mother? Would you still take care of the kid, Excel? Given what you said about being a father, right?
Yeah.
You're setting a trend here.
Yeah, legit. I would.
Why?
You know, not everybody gets to grow up with a father figure. You know, in situations or in an area where there's a certain flop, there's a certain man that didn't own up to his responsibilities at that point in time, and having a father is very crucial, very, very crucial, especially for a young man. So I would take care of the child.
You would take care of the thing. How do you feel about that, Frank? Do you agree with Excel? Would you, in the same circumstances, take care of the kid knowing it's not yours, but you've got a commitment to the woman?
I would take care of the kid, but with the exception that we need to get the father involved, because although I may be the father figure there, but all in all, he needs to be enlightened of who his father is also, because we all deserve the truth in one way or another as we grow up in time.
Wouldn't you feel intimidated? I mean, you know, baby daddy stays in the woman's head rent free, bro. So how would you feel about sharing space both in the woman's life and maybe sometimes in the household with another man.
You don't have to share space with the woman.
You ain't got to share space with the woman.
As long as the child is taken care of, then that's all that matters.
Distance is cool. Yeah,
Because
you can co-parent.
the basis of a man is we have to be responsible for our actions, and he needs to be responsible enough to be the father of that kid. Although I will play my part of looking after them, but the father will always be the father, and that's one thing I can never change.
Thanks.
That being said, Ricky, how would your role change if you aren't really the father, but you still do want to take care of it, and the man's still in the picture? What's your responsibility now? Who are you basically to this kid?
Well, for me, I'll still be the father to the child.
How's that work?
Because whether I like it or not, the kid will have to grow up with a father. Because I can't love the mom and not love the child. Because whether I like it or not, if I love, okay, let me just say it like this. If I love this woman, I will have no choice but to love her child.
Yeah.
Because it's now my responsibility. She's my responsibility, so is the child. Even though I know that the child is not mine, it's not my blood, but whether I like it or not, that is my responsibility as well. So I will raise the kid, but whether I like it or not, it's basically, that child is basically mine. Okay, I will say I'll prove the father wrong, the original father wrong, that you're not giving your child the love that the child was supposed to have. So I'm giving that child what the child needs: school, a roof over her head, or his head. That's how I want to make sure that when the child grows up, knowing that this is not my real father, but he did all that he had to do. He took care of me. He did this, he did that. Yeah. Then at the end of the day, the child will come and thank me. At least I know that I got to thank you, not something back in return. At least I thank you for do something.
I mean, you said if you loved the woman, then you will transmit some of that love to the child. Mm-hmm. Do you feel the same way, Donnie? Is that a must? Must I care for the child just because I care for the woman? What would you say to Ricky in that case?
Yeah, I have to agree with him.
For sure.
I feel like sometimes, like, a woman can, even though the kid is not yours, she can also put it on you because she feels like you'd be a better father compared to the original father. Mm-hmm. So if that's the woman that I love, then I'm gonna have to find a way to take care of the child. But then also you cannot deprive the child of the right to knowing the dad. Yes. So even if that's my woman, the child can also like spend time with the father, but not really in the presence of me and my woman. So you can come get the child, go have a good time, and then come drop it back off.
Mr. Henry Alois, thanks, Donnie, by the way. That's a kick-ass answer. Sir. Commitment is the one word that's circling in my head right now. You know, riding off Ricky's point, like he said, if there was commitment, if he loved the person, then he'd go ahead and step into that role. What level of commitment do you think is enough for you to do that? And this question is twofold. Would you do that? Let's start off by asking that question. We never got to hear what you think about it.
Would I not? I would.
You would?
Yeah,
okay.
Let's not break it down. I would, because personally speaking, I won't speak for everyone because I don't know. You know, from my personal experiences as a human, it all goes down to humanity. If you're human enough to know how much a life means, then you will take care of the child, irregardless of the circumstances. You know, you will take care of a child. A real man never sets a limit to how many kids he can take care of. You know, as a man, you always chase the wealth if possible. You know, it doesn't mean if you have 10 kids that you feel like, you know what, I'm done for. Nah, you have an opportunity to gain more and take care of more. So, yeah, the child needs to know who the father is, but the memories you give him can as well replace the missing father. You can be the missing father.
What level of commitment would trigger that for you? I mean, is that broad? Would you do it just because you feel that as a decent human being, it's your moral responsibility? Must there be any kind of standard where you're like, okay, because we've met this, then I'm going to do that?
Well, once more, I will emphasize that from my point of view, it's the highest level of commitment.
What's the highest level of commitment for you?
Just a genuine character, which is a person who knows human values. You know, like, it wouldn't sit well with me knowing that I had enough wealth or enough means to take care of a life, but I chose not to do so because I never gave birth to it, to him, to her. So, I mean, I might say it's the African way because it happens in most African houses. It also happens in white houses. We see white parents often adopting. We don't know the cause. Some of them may be infertile, but yeah, still, it's the human way. You can never live a life stranded simply because you never gave birth to it.
Those are powerful answers. I gotta say, you gentlemen, quite impressive. Let's throw a curveball into this. Let's flip the tables a little bit, right? Yeah. Say you went to prison for 5 years, like this gentleman, and you got out, right? Or you guys all agreed unanimously that the right thing to do would be to take care of the child. Suppose at some point things went south, she knowingly deprived you of seeing the kid and still put it on you that you didn't really do the right thing or whatever. Things happened, you went to jail, you got out. Do you still feel it's your responsibility to take care of the child? Frank?
To be honest, that is a very difficult question to answer.
What if you had been? Suppose you'd been taking care of the child for a good 2 years, right? It's enough time to bond with someone. You guys fall out in those 2 years. She dips. You can't really do anything about that because you guys aren't married or anything. It's commitment, right? The highest level of commitment. Do we trust one another? Are we, you know what I'm saying? She dips, goes with the kid. But because of that, obviously you can't provide the way you're supposed to. But yeah, she turns things around and it's like, listen, you need to pay for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you don't for some reason and you get jail time and now you're out. How's your reaction? How are you feeling?
Okay, I would feel betrayed in terms of the responsibility I was about to fulfill. So all in all, the kid's life will definitely be taken care of. You know, I being a man who's lived so much of his life, I could play my part in educating this because although the mom is in a row, I can't take her mistakes and put it on the child. As long as I can give him a proper way to grow up, understanding the different environment he grows up in and the different characters he meets, just like his mother, would be something that I can provide as a father that was excluded from his life or her life.
Donnie, would you jump back into the mix just like that after doing 5 years?
It's not quite easy to just like jump back into the mix.
How would you go about it then?
What kills, because for me, what kills the whole thing is that she was in contact with the actual baby daddy the whole time. So you could have like came out with it early. You know, you will not know how human a person is until you like speak to them and come out with the truth. So if you did come out early and at least try to explain to me that you have a kid, but you see me as a better father figure than the original baby daddy, then at least I can consider and think and be like, okay, you know what, I can take care of this kid. But now if I go to jail, I come out. The feelings are no more the same, not gonna lie. I'm not feeling the same about this woman, but then still can't take your mistakes and put it on the kid. I still love to be in the kid's life, but just not as a father.
But just not as a father?
Yeah.
If not as a father, what would you be then?
Uncle.
Uncle. Excel, how do you feel about that, man?
Yeah, legit, they said like most of the things that I wanted to say. You cannot put that on the kid. That's not the kid's fault, man. Yeah. So I'm gonna come out, and the woman is not my problem. The child is, and I won't be there as an uncle, but I'd be there as a friend for that kid. You can do that because a father. There's a difference between being able to call someone a father and being a daddy to someone's child. You get me? A father provides, he's gonna send you to school and everything, but then when a child gets to call you daddy, you have gotten to connect with this child in a way, a different level. You get me? So yeah, I'm gonna be your friend. You can count on me for anything, legit. the child, not the woman.
Facts.
Nah, that's mad noble. That's mad noble of you guys. What if you were in the same situation, right? So there's a heart that you're committed to and everything like that, and then something happens and you get yourself a little bit of jail time, like 5 months or whatever, and you know she's talking to other people in the meantime, but you care deeply for this person. Now you get out and you find out that she has been in contact with other men. How do you react in that way, Mr. Ricky?
Okay, basically, I don't fight over a woman, but knowing that if this lady or this girl is the one that I wanted to build something with, and because some of us take time before we actually put 100% into a relationship.
You went to prison, bro.
Oh, I went to prison.
Yeah, you were inside, you locked up, man. You don't know.
She's seeing other guys.
Yeah, she's seeing other guys on the outside.
And okay, I feel bad that she's not even supporting me. Or anything, at least coming to visit me and tell you, you know, be strong, this and that. Okay, I'll feel really down. And worst thing, if my friends had to come and visit me and tell me that your girl is doing ABC.
Let's say you were taking care of her while you were on the outside, like you did everything, you know what I'm saying? You paid the rent, you were a man in every sense of the word, right? You were a man in every sense of the word. You were absent for a period of time. Let's give it a year maybe, right? You're absent for a year, locked up or whatever. Might have been deported, we don't know. Okay. But you're back now. And she's not like
the same.
She's not really the same, you know what I'm saying? She's seeing somebody else now. She sees somebody else. But you care deeply for this person. Do you think it's right for you to continue to fulfill your obligations? Henry, if you had the means, would you do it?
Yeah. No. Because of course she's seeing somebody else now. Yeah, so he's her husband now. He's her man. Like, it's clear that we've substituted. Like, sports, dude. Only in basketball where you can take out somebody and
bring them back in. Yeah.
But a substitute is meant to be on the sideline for the rest of the game. I'm out of your life. I don't care if we have if we have a child, we have a link. As long as I ain't left nothing there, then, ma'am, even my family members' names, you can forget them. Yeah.
You gonna be out.
Yeah, because me, of course, you have to forget. Yeah. I'm out of your life, peacefully so. Peacefully so. Because, let's be honest, women forget easily. Women forget men easily. Like, that's one thing I've realized about women. Women are quick to move on. Unless the situation was deep. Yeah. Only we guys, like we men, stick to stuff to the point of, you know, addiction. I've never really had a situation whereby a woman was in a relationship, she broke up with a guy and she became an addict. Never.
Okay. Hearing that, I've got a question for Excel. What would make you move on quickly as a man? Because Henry points out that women move on quite quickly, you know, they forget about you in a heartbeat. Boom. Like, what's your name again? Type thing. What would make, I mean, bro, hectic, but what would be the trigger for you to say, I'm done with this person indefinitely and quickly, by the way?
Yeah, let me try quickly link these two situations where you back a year or so, she's seeing somebody else. For me, it's not about the cash, you know, the cash, the money, the things I bought you. You're gonna deal with that. You ate, you spent a night or months and whatever. It's the energy, the time, the trust, the effort, you know, everything that I put in, disregarded. You feel me? Now, when I come to your question, what's gonna make me move quick? Legit, it's our level. they say birds of the same feathers flock together. So if you can't think or envision things the way I do, we can't move together. It's even written in the Bible, bro. Those who, if we can't go the same way, then we have to split ways.
Can't help me grow, won't help me grow. Yeah.
You feel me? So legit is the level of intellect.
Yeah.
Intellect. As a woman, your primary beauty is here.
Yeah.
If you ain't beautiful here, then you're ugly. For me, legitimately.
Get out of
I'm not going to have my. Let me save that. But then yeah, legit.
Now, okay, no, I hear you. Interesting point. So from what I can take from that is, unless strong connections were built, you wouldn't really want to go back to this person, and you would be more inclined to leave if you guys weren't connecting on those levels, right? But then looking at the scenario, right, man went to jail, he didn't really deserve to go there, he came out and stuff. Put yourself in his shoes. Would you sue the woman? Would you take any legal action? Frank, what do you think?
Could I also answer that previous question, please?
Oh, yes, of course, man.
Okay, so with that question that was asked before, with us men, I believe a relationship is more like a business for us. So as a man, we tend to think the more we invest is the more that we should get out. Now, for the fact that we're given so much and we don't see any results coming in, we will never stay on that investment. It's either we find an alternative that we can put our all in and then reap the benefits in that. So no matter how much we can throw into a woman, if she does not
reciprocate
what you put in, then there's no way a man can say we are territorial. Just like how a lion, no matter how many lionesses can be around, there isn't one that will ever satisfy him. So it's the point of the more I give, is the more that you should give back. If that is not reciprocated, then there's no way I would commit enough like that. And
would you take the woman to court?
Would you sue her?
Would you sue her after you got out? Suppose you love the kid, but things happen. You did 5 years. How would you feel about it?
To be honest, with our time that's going in the generation that we're living in, that it can never be been taken forward, because as much as I may sue, no action will ever be taken against a woman. Although if she had to report the same case, I would have to be in big trouble. No, she did that. No, God bless her. Let me find other ways to maneuver with my life.
Would you be as forgiving, Donnie?
Can I start by answering that? Because I didn't get a chance.
That question was a deep one too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So firstly, when I talk to a girl, right, because I'm a Christian, the first thing that I look for in a girl is whether she loves God or not. So if a girl actually loves and fears God, even if I go to jail, she will not go around messing around and all of that. You know what I mean? Literally, there's my whole family is there. My guys are there. You can't tell me that they rejected or refuse to take care of you while I was away. That doesn't happen. And to get to what you asked, Excel, it's in the Bible. When there's in Proverbs 31, I don't know the exact, but in Proverbs 31 it says that beauty fades away. You know what I mean? So the first thing that you look, if she fears God, she should not go around messing with other guys and all of that. So I wouldn't go back to you, because already you've shown that you're not a Proverbs 31 woman.
You're in Proverbs 31.
And to ask if I'd be more forgiving, and to ask if I'd be so forgiving, as forgiving as Frank, yeah, I would be. The Bible says that we should forgive for God to forgive us. You know what I mean? And it also states in the Bible that sometimes God asks us to do things that we might not want to do, even if it can be hard for us. So whether I like it or not, I have to forgive her for God to forgive me also for the sins that I may have committed. So whether I like it or not, it's fine, I'll forgive her. Time heals.
Time heals.
Yeah.
Rickson, are you on the same train?
Yeah, I'm on the same train, because you never want to hold a grudge for anything, especially not her. She's okay, because yes, what happened. Okay, so I'll just let it go. No case, no nothing. You know, yeah, we had issues, we had that. So but let's just not go there. So I will forgive. and I will let it go. Like yeah, but if we have, even if like we have a kid involved in it, I'll just play my role as a father. Come take care of the child, come visit, take the child in for holidays if the child wants to, if the child can come, because you need the mom's permission. I can't just come take it, because if she open up what you call it again?
A case.
A case, yeah. So I can't just come grab the kid.
Yeah.
You know, I'm taking the child to come stay. You know, I'll need her permission. So yes, so I will forgive and not open up a case, because yeah, it's just how I am. And let me just say. Yeah.
What if in opening up the case, she wouldn't necessarily get capital punishment like jail or anything, but she'd need to compensate you in some way? Would you still feel the same way?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah, still feel the same way.
Noble.
So,
Henry?
I must start off by saying that we can be emotional, but at the end of the day, if you're a man, it should feel cheap to you suing a woman. Because a battle to me is a man versus a man. You can't go out of jail and a whole man not think of rebuilding your life but suing a woman. Building a life of money that you got from suing a woman is basically what I call cheating.
yeah.
That means you don't have nothing. The woman built you, indirectly so. Indirectly so, she built you.
Yeah.
So what I would say is, you know, I can be weak enough to hold a grudge against a man, not a woman. Because at the end of the day, she's a woman. I've gotten to a certain level of my life. I've understood that no matter what a woman does to you as a man, you should put your pride aside to understand that she is a woman. She is a woman. Not to like minimize their status as women.
True.
But it's the law of nature that those creations will forever be troublesome to us men. It's like a king. A king. There's this one being in the room that is too big for herself. Like she's too big for how she's supposed to be. So as a king, you've got the power, everything. There's nothing more to show. You don't have to shout at her. You don't have to call your guards this and that to assert your power. No, you are the king. You are the king. Sit on your throne. Let her be. She's done enough. Just be mature enough on your decision to move forward. So suing a woman is a cheap move. I don't care if it was how long jail time, I don't care. Suing a woman is a cheap move. It's a handicap match.
It's a handicap match?
Yeah.
Okay.
That you'll never win, because the law will never allow you to do so.
Do you think the law intentionally favors women against men in certain cases? Excel?
Yeah, bro. Legit, man, especially in this whole situation, she has a child. The judge would think, what is a woman with a child supposed to do in jail? Who's taking care of the child? Bro, I can legit say now that it is a woman's world. We think that we have attained a level of gender equality. No, we haven't. The tables have switched a little, I can say, from the past. Yes, there were claims that, you know, women have always been oppressed by men, even though there are certain facts that are kept from us that say that no, women have not been oppressed. But we leave that, so now there's no gender equality. Women have the upper hand. Women have the upper hand, and yeah, man, you know, they are taught this. You are taught to fear a man. You stay feminine, you know, independent, bad boss bitch. You don't need a man. You get me? While in the Bible, bro, if God says that, who am I to, even though it's coming from a man, Corinthians clearly states that Christ is the head of man, man is the head of woman. So if in a certain situation we have women on top of men, then Christ ain't there no more. You get it? Ain't no space for Christ. So yes, back to your question, I derived a little.
Nah, it's all good, bro.
Your question, yes, they do favor him, bro. Women are favored.
Women are favored, and that being the case, we will ask one last question. And we're gonna carry off that point that women are favored in the justice system. So this would be a quick question, and then maybe you can just expand on it a little bit. But how would you restructure the judgment and justice system given the circumstances that women are favored? If you had an opportunity, let's say for a short period of time, right, you want to test out a theory, you want to prove that in fact they are, how would you restructure the way things are done? Because obviously with this man getting time, it could have hinged on the fact that, listen, he's a man, he probably would have done A, B, C, D, E, and the woman would not be held accountable based off the fact that she's the child's mother. You don't really want to put the child in welfare systems because, you know. So then if you were in a position of authority and cases like this will obviously be brought to you, that's not the first, it won't be the last either. What change would you implement to level the playing field a bit?
One of the things that does come to head would be that if such a case is reported, let it not be a word of mouth. Let it be something that you actually have concrete proof of, records that prove that this is not the father. Because a lot of times it gets to a point that women seem to be oppressed or minimized by men. So that's why word of mouth is taken a lot, because they think maybe that's how it is, but in reality that's not the case. So word of mouth with, facts, proof and evidence that he is not the father, or he actually allegedly did this to you in terms of video wise and all that, would be how I may take it over. Because if we logically looking at this, women tend to oppress themselves, being the fact that, one of her friends will tell you, in order for you to do this, just in order for you to get this man back, do 1, 2, 3. In order for you to get him back like this, do 1, 2, 3. And we never see men filing cases against women. It's always a woman filing a case against a man. A man will never wake up in his right mind and be like, I'm going to court with a woman. It's always women on men or women on women. Men we don't have time to take people to court like that. We have a life that we need to build. So that's what I would have to say on that.
What say you, Donnie?
Yeah, I agree with him. That's the same thing I was planning on saying. That obviously in this context, before we can even go and start judging the dead, we're in a court, you have to first bring proof that, DNA proof that this actually is the father of the child. And then we can take it from there. But then now, if there's no proof, then there's no way for us to take it forward, because now we're going to end up having this case. So yeah, the proof is necessary. Frank can say a lot about what's happening right now in the world with women. Just not so long ago, there was a woman. Now I'll just give a story. There was a woman in the end. She has a NBA husband. She's the wife of PJ Washington. He's a professional basketball player. Yeah. So obviously, to get the bag, she went and she got married with him, had a kid, filed for a divorce, and then asked for child support with $200K a month. Imagine. So it's we're living in a women's world. So yeah.
It's intense, Ricky. It seems like we are living in a woman's world, but let Ricky speak for himself. What change would you bring to systems? Maybe let's restructure the question. Maybe let's look at it outside the courtroom, in society. How would you try and level the playing field, as it were, right? To make it a fairer treatment system altogether, right? Not just in matters of the courts. I mean, we can reference this one, but in society in general, in the workplace, at school, etc. If you had the power for a month, for example, what would you do differently?
What would I do differently? There's a lot of power in a man.
Yeah.
Can I just say that the playing field can never be equal? It should always be on the men's side. Just to add on.
Yeah. That's hectic, bro. Listen.
You only get the first point.
My man, Frank.
You only get the first point. So, because it's a woman's world, a woman is always right, for some reason. even though they're wrong, they'll always be right. If I had to change something in a man, at least for once, let's hear the men's side. Like, let's totally hear what the guy that you said. Because I feel like the society do not hear men. If a woman says this, it stands. We can't break it, we can't bring it down. So definitely give at least, I'll give back the manpower that was lost to the women's society.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
How would you do things differently, my man?
Okay.
What would you change? Let's say, what would you change to
in a societal way?
In a societal way overall, right? Because we've ascertained, or it seems as if this is the popular view right now, that it is a woman's world. How would you level the playing field overall?
Okay, first point. Get rid of that floating phrase, gender equality. Because gender equality is easier said than done.
Yeah.
People always say gender equality. If we truly equal, then equality means equal on everything, doesn't it? Cool, we can be equal in earning salaries. Alright, let's be equal in the ring.
Yeah.
50-50.
50-50, yeah.
Equality means everything. There's no exception to equality. So my first point is get rid of gender equality. Second point, that we know in humanity, the only way to truly build a society is by having a guideline. What is the human guideline? Religion. That's my belief.
Thank you.
A human without a religion is just a floating person, because you don't know what you believe in. That's why somehow atheists who don't believe in God have made their own religion. So yeah, they've been given that much power to have your own religion, which is not believing in God. You believe in what? Science. Cool. It's fine. That's your religion. At least you have a guideline. So a human without a guideline is a floating person with no direction. So the only way we can fix this problem, let's tackle the issues. Number one, gender equality, and build a guideline for the humanity. Because we out here just living, we don't know who's Christian, we don't know who's what. Even surprisingly, transgender people have their own religion now. Just received the word that yesterday the Church of England are changing the word God into they. What's that?
Yes, that's what it is.
So yeah, you should know that the society has a plan. The only way to defeat your opponent is by using their strategy against them. Use their strategy against them. They know that the inferior being in the universe or in the world is a woman. So what? Give the woman all the power. Then the world is gonna crash. You believe God is a woman. They even bring it in music now because they know music is powerful.
And can I add on what he said? Just as it says everything needs a guideline, just how the word woman will never stand without the word man should show really.
Okay. Oh my boy. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Wahala.
Yeah, Mr. Excel, do us the honors of closing with your comment.
Yeah, right. By the way, the gents gave top-notch answers. I don't even know what to say. I'm just gonna quickly add on to what they said. Exactly, Henry. The guidelines, religion. That's where we lack. We lack a lot. The guidelines. Nobody. I'm not gonna say where this comes from, but then we are taught to believe, to do what we must. In other words, there's no higher being. There's no deity, there's no God. You do what you feel like it. You feel me? You do what you want to do. You get? So yeah. Then wait, what was that? You mentioned?
Gender equality.
Yes, exactly. Since they want to be equal, let's be equal. Let's take it back to the court of law. A man and woman together. I hear everything. I'm not gonna look at you as a woman. I'm not gonna look at. I'm gonna now look at everyone
The same.
as the same. So whatever result, if whatever the outcome is, you should know that I didn't say that. Nah, you a woman or you a man. I'm gonna give the result that's okay. I'm gonna look at you all as human beings. And for the fact that even human can't stand without man is key. Yeah, that's it, man. I don't have much to say, G.
Yeah, but I know, like, Andrew brought some strong points.
I don't have much to say.
New topics again. Because these feminists move crazy. I'm telling you, they all talk. You take them on the date, when the bill comes, they look into the side. They tell them they can't see. And even this transgender thing, how can one person identify as a they? No,
it's not that, it's God. They're saying they want to change God.
Yeah, but even as a person, you cannot identify as a they.
Man, I'm a he. I'm him.
He man, bro.
I do not.
Does that mean if people cannot identify as they, they can also be God? Because God is going to be changed to they as well.
Thank you. Comes back to do what?
You will! Exactly. So it's just do what you want to do.
Yeah. No, but that is another topic for another day.
No lie.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Interesting points. I love the little panel discussion we had here. You guys really came through with those answers. Really appreciate it. I feel like we should have another one, definitely.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
Definitely so.
Yeah.